Welcome to the first episode of Getting Lippy 2024. We're a little bit slow, a little bit delayed, but we're here and we are the home of everything entertainment and showbiz news, brought to you by Slingo. And the special guest joining me this week is a lady with many, many talents. TV personality, singer-songwriter, ex-pro football player, Chelcee.
Hello.
And giving us our journalist angle, everything in the know, in the tabloids, is Kate Randall.
I feel like you meant to clap or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we do have an additional guest, brand new this year. Hello, Daphne. She's going to give us the little side comments or maybe the side eyes on everything that's in the news at the moment. Join the fun on Slingo, your official site for Slingo games. Enjoy a £50 welcome bonus and get access to over 6,000 vibrant casino games. Gamble responsibly and take advantage of Slingo's safer gambling tools. Age 25 and over. Be gamble aware. So Chelsea, you've got quite a CV. I mean, football, singing, TV personality. You played for Everton, Spurs, Fulham. You've, written songs for the likes of Kylie Minogue, Dua Lipa, Blackpink. These aren't small. They're not like just playing football for your little local team and, writing. Like, these are big accomplishments. Were you ever torn between football and music?
Yeah, of course. I think now especially I'm a bit torn looking back thinking, maybe I should have just continued to do football all the way along. But unfortunately, or fortunately for me, back then there was no money in the women's game at all. So all my peers or who I idolised, I'd look up at, they were all teachers or doctors or firewomen, and I was just like, don't fancy any of that. So it just made me branch out. I always say if I was a guy, I probably would have just been a footy player. Yeah. But actually, the fact I was
How did it work? Because you started in football, then music, went back to football. What's the story behind it all?
So I signed for Liverpool Ladies when I was 9. That was it. Just played for fun in the street. I had no brothers or sisters, and the only kids in our street were guys. So it was either do your homework or just go out and play football. So I just got good quickly, and then I got scouted playing with the boys to go and trial for Liverpool. Ended up playing for Liverpool.
Wait, where did they scout you?
I was I didn't know who it was at the time. He's a Liverpool legend, Ian Rush, but my granddad, I just thought he was some guy with a moustache. I was like, who's that guy? But I was the only girl who turned up, and then there was scouts there for Liverpool, and they said, come down. And I say it all the time, but I still remember that feeling of walking to the Astro. Daphne likes that. Yeah. She heard grass or Astro turn.
Is that it?
But I remember turning up there for the first trial and just seeing loads of little girls like me. And that's when I finally felt like, okay, yeah, this is cool. I found my little tribe and getting in a team. And then after that, and then had the realisation of there's lads who I know who were getting paid at the age of 10 and I haven't had a penny. And yeah, it just wasn't great. So then I just
So what did they give you?
Nothing.
If you was playing from
Just
the
the
age of 9 to 16? Just
the pride of playing. Yeah, if you were a girl, there was not much going on for you.
Oh my God.
That's why, the likes of Farrah Williams or even Izzy Christensen, people like that, a lot of the girls in the Lionesses now, I played with all of them at youth level, and I love that they stuck it out when there was no glory in it at all.
Yeah.
And to reap the rewards now was amazing, where I just got off.
Do you ever have pangs of regret that when they won the Euros?
I mean, no.
What were you pleased for?
No, I was there. I was in the stands. I was buzzing for them. Listen, I think I love the life I've carved out for myself, and I get to do a bunch of other things, and I don't have to train every single day, and I can travel and write music. But the point is, it forced me being a girl. Because I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have known I could even sing. It wasn't like I come out the womb, or you hear musicians go, and I sang from the age of 2. I was like, no, right, reality check, I'm 16. What else can I do?
I was going to say, did you know that you had these hidden talents? Did you know? Because writing a song is hard. And then, the music production to go around it as well is also another string. And you're just actually, you know what? I can do this.
No, I just used to, sing a bit. And my mum would be like, oh, you can sing. But nothing I've never got pushed. I left school at 16, never went to college or nothing, was no one in my family's musical. I just enjoyed English as well and music, and then I just put them together and
You're just like, well,
wrote a song.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get introduced to the likes of like Dua Lipa and Kylie Minogue, and how did you make the jump from the football to being recognised as a singer-songwriter?
So from the age of 16 to 18, I worked with a producer in Liverpool called Kieran Bell. And at the time, you know, I was 16. The only pop stars you'd see was Atomic Kitten. That, no disrespect.
Great.
Natasha's coming out with some songs, and I met her for a coffee, and I told her, like, listen, you were the only thing I could see from Liverpool back then. Oh, and the Beatles.
Oh, yeah, that's I mean, they've got a whole street in Liverpool which is dedicated to the Beatles.
Yeah, they were a bit before my time. So Kieran done a lot with Atomic Kitten, and I didn't know what even music I wanted to make. I was just like, okay, I'm going to give this a go for like 2 years, that's it. And then I'll go and get a proper job. And we made like 4 songs, I think. And I play every open mic night I could play on Lark Lane and in town. And I learned 4 chords on a piano off YouTube. That was it. And I went and I played, and more people would come, and I'd start selling tickets, and the promoters would give me 200 tickets and say, if you can sell the 200, sell the tickets for a £5 and you keep £2. And I started making money like that, and I was selling out gigs, and more kids started to come. And the record labels in London heard about me, and I had an offer from Universal, Sony. It was crazy.
That's mad.
It was very weird at the time, and then I signed my first record deal when I was 18 after like literally 2 years of really giving it a go.
Do you think by doing the football gave you a little bit of a status? Did
Not
people
at
know?
all.
Not at all.
No,
So it was
back
quite
then
almost like it was just fresh. Like,
no, I'm 30 now. I think back then, 15 years ago, women's football was like uncool. When I signed my record deal, the guy, like, I won't mention names.
And there was no social media either, was there?
I mean,
like,
they were
Instagram
like,
stuff.
don't mention that you play football. Like, it's not cool. And that was what I got told. So it was, imagine you're walking into these record labels, you're super green to it. No one, like I said, in my family, I had no one to turn to. Everyone was just like, oh my God, it's amazing. And you're seeing like Justin Timberlake and Beyonce and Britney Spears on the walls, and you're like, I've made it. And then the guy in the suit's going, oh yeah, by the way, don't say that, and don't say that about yourself. And it gives you a real sense of like insecurity that actually the way you are as a person is probably not going to sell any records. So instantly I went into like hibernation mode and just said, I want to be a songwriter instead. I don't even want to be an artist. And you know, my first song went to Kylie Minogue, and it went #1 in like 20 countries.
What song was it?
It was called Million Miles. It was like, it was on the album that Sia and Pharrell like produced the whole thing. So, and then my little name was there, and I think my family as well were like, oh yeah, she says she's in music. But when I could actually physically prove there's my name, they're like, oh, you do music? And do it.
Do you feel as though
crazy.
that like the music industry sometimes has like a bad rep? Like it's always in like movies, like the music industry always like steals rights on musicians. Like obviously Kesha went through what she went through, like Britney Spears and all of this. Like, did you ever have any bad experiences at all?
Well, I done 3 songs on the last Kesha album as well with Kesha, so we spoke a lot about that.
Because she got properly done over by her manager.
I mean,
She got locked in.
It's the music industry. My first deal was awful, but at the time, you think, well, it was the only carrot dangling. What, like, I didn't know. Again, it's difficult. I hope, you know, I saw Ray's Brit speech, and she's saying, you know, she just hopes that people moving forward sign better deals and they have better lawyers. But when you've got no money, you're from Liverpool, you move to London, and there's a contract in front of you, you'd be silly not to take it. I had nothing else going on, so I can't hold myself.
No, I do. I think at the age of, well, in your early 20s anyways, like, you know, I was exactly the same. You moved to London, you're living in a squalor, like with loads of people, you know, in the most disgusting mold-ridden place. And then obviously something in your passion, mine was presenting, like they go, here you go, here's a job. And you go, oh my God, this is it, I've cracked it. Yeah. And it's like, okay, cool, you're going to get paid like 200 quid.
I'm like,
fine, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's one of them. The music industry is what it is. As long as I very much I can easily separate my real life from my job. Whether it's I'm in the studio with Dua Lipa or Kylie or whatever. Like, I sound ungrateful, but it's not. It's just, that's just my job. And then I go home, and then that's my real life. And I can very easily separate both things. And I love it. I'm very grateful for it. But I've worked very hard, and a lot of songs are in the bin or on my hard drive that you'll never hear. It's just obviously glamorized. But, you know, I say to everyone, I get a lot of young people message me, especially females, saying, how the hell did you get a record deal? How the hell did you get a publishing deal? How did you start? And it's like, if you have anything else that you potentially want to do, you should probably go and do it.
Right.
Because I had only football, which was no money, or music, which was a little bit of money if I was lucky. And now I feel like it's all kind of aligned, and there's not that many musicians who are also footballers, and right now it's a good crossover. And I've done it for a long, long time for nothing though, so I feel like right now I'm in a good position.
Yeah, I think, you know, anything in the entertainment industry, like people don't realize, like you have to do like 5 years of shit pay, and then finally things, and it's not until you're in your 30s like, oh, I can actually live off my wealth now of my work. But I remember like people used to always say to me, oh, you know, I want to get into presenting, like, or DJing, like, what's your advice? I was like, are you willing to sell your soul to the devil? Because that's what you need. But what's next for you? What's in the pipeline in terms of like your music?
I've just signed a new record deal, which I don't want to say, but I feel already so insecure about the whole thing. I just signed to Ireland, which is very cool for me. And yeah, I'm in the studio right now. I'm writing away. I just got back from Germany. I'm going to go to South Korea in May. I write a lot of K-pop as well over there, which is very cool again, just because I get to go to the museums. They have song museums where you go and you can like see your songs in like little figures of the people. Like it's crazy out there.
Mad.
It's
Full
like
stop
us
K-pop
back in the like 90s though, you know, when you could get like little dolls of your pop stars, and it's so
all the
cool,
Spice
man.
Girls.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and you hear your songs like obviously translated in other languages, and I like to just travel and see how far my music can take me, because you know, it goes to places I've never even been. So it's just a lot of travel. I see with TV and stuff like that, but for right now it's very music focused and writing songs for myself and other people.
So talking about TV, you have done a couple of stints on some reality TV shows, Wim Hof, and I actually remember rooting for you in the games. That was the best. Like,
that was
I
a
loved
fun
it.
show. I
loved
Why
the
did they get
games.
rid of it after the first season? It was so
that
good.
before or after lockdown? I can't remember.
I think it was
That
before.
was after, wasn't it?
Was it?
Everything blurs into
No, I
like.
think it was before. You
No,
know.
it wasn't.
Really?
No, it wasn't. Lockdown was 2020.
Oh my
The
gosh.
games was like 2022.
Was it really?
Was it?
We're in
Oh, wow.
2024, girls.
Oh my god, yeah, no.
No, I know, but I just
No, you're both missing 2 years out your life.
I think when you get the other side of 30, you do start cutting years
I'm
off your
40
life.
now, so I've got an excuse.
Well, you're both missing a good 2 years thing.
I went to the press day of that, so
Did
I
ya?
must remember.
No, yeah, it was 2022.
Oh my god, that's mad.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. You
It
were in
was.
it.
I
But
wasn't.
I loved that show because it was just like, it was a mixture between the Olympics, backyard athletics, and like your school like
It was
activities.
I look at that now, me and the girls look at it and go, what were we actually thinking? But it was so much, and
Yeah.
you're never going to get to do that again. Like, it was so funny, because obviously I got a bit of stick because they were like, oh, she plays football, so she must be good at everything. And I was like, I play football, I don't rock climb
I was
or
going to say,
swim or...
you could probably run.
Yeah, I can
maybe
run,
swim.
but no, I couldn't
You
really
couldn't?
swim that well, no, at all. And the diving, like, I'm sorry, I
God,
was the worst at diving, but I got a few points just because I was a bit like, I'll go up to the middle one then.
I still wouldn't do that. God,
Yeah, that was Ryan
no.
Thomas though. Ryan was like, are we doing it then, Chell, or what?
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Honestly though, it was such a good show to do. I mean, it was completely different from Wim Hof. Wim's... Oh,
Tell us about that. Like,
he's
I can't
just-
even imagine, because that got axed as well.
I mean,
But
TV's struggling at the minute.
But Gladiators is back. So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
great.
There you
right.
go.
They love turning this stuff
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Wim, I've never done that, right? And I know it's really good. And yeah, maybe once before I've swam in the sea after I've done a run, and I mean that was cold enough. But to do that, no.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. I don't think I expected it to be that intense. But the people I was with just made it so much better. Like just going to sleep with Steve and Professor Green to my left, and Patrice Evra's there, going like, I love this game, and then Gabby Logan's
Forgot you
opposite
had
me, and
him in
Tom's.
there.
It was just, it was the best group of people, but it was very intense. It was, and I think the good thing about that show was, even though there was a lot of people involved, you'd say a cast, everyone was on their own journey. Whereas the games, everyone was just like wanting to win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember Olivia Atwood was on,
Oh,
and I love
funny.
that girl so much. But
Funny.
I think when it was doing the diving, she was just like, I've just had Botox and filler done. I don't want my boobs to burst. To be quite honest, I don't think if I had fake boobs and you diving in like that, I wouldn't want to do that. One would probably go, what the fuck got me here? It's like,
Oh yeah, we just had such a laugh. We did really have a
Yeah.
laugh. But it was funny to see the boys as well.
Yeah.
Like how competitive they got was
oh, boys
crazy.
are though, full stop.
Yeah, but it was an experience. I'm glad it's done.
Is there, I know you're focused on your music now, but say for example in a few years and you go, oh, you know, I want to do a bit more, I want to try and do reality again. Is there a TV show you would do and you wouldn't do?
I've been asked for all the dating shows. I wouldn't do them. Yeah, sorry. I'm too awkward.
Yeah.
Like on a date, I'm so direct. Everyone would be like, she's so weird. Like I'd be like, so why'd you like broccoli? Like, I don't know. I'm just so, it's either like enticing and intriguing that I'm so honest, or really like you're not well. But it's the way I am.
What's the celebrity one? Celebrity.
Oh, Celebs Go Dating.
Celebs go
Yeah.
dating.
Yeah, they've been on the
See, I
thing,
think
yeah.
that's awkward. Somebody setting you up with somebody. Like, I'm always on. If you
I'm sure
like
they've
somebody,
always got the same person on there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No, it's not for me. That also not feeling strictly either. Not for me. No.
See, no one would ever ask me because I'm not a celebrity, but that would be my.
Everyone
Really?
loves it. It's
show.
not for
I can't
me.
dance at all. I've already got my show dance planned, but they're never gonna. Just in
No.
case they run out of celebrity.
No, and they probably put me with a girl now, and I'm smaller than her. I wouldn't be able to lift anyone. I'd be like, girl, you'll have to lift me. It's just not going to be good. So that one, not for me. And what's the other ones? I'm a celeb.
I'm a celeb?
Ah,
I
maybe
think you'd be pretty good at that.
maybe in the future when I've got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
But for now, I think I'm all right. I've got enough on my plate.
Nice 3 weeks in Australia.
Yeah, maybe.
Get voted out first, then you get a nice hotel.
Yeah, it's the hotel. Yeah, that's what you want. What about you? What would you do?
Or Strictly.
Anything else?
I would like to do I'm a Celeb, but it wouldn't be the eating one. It would be the animals, the birds.
Oh.
That would
The
go near me.
birds?
You know,
Mine would be sleeping outside. Full
Oh.
stop. Period.
What wouldn't you do?
What in I'm a Celeb?
No,
Or just
in general.
if I don't know. I think I'll probably try anything. Oh, I would love to try SAS, Who Dares Wins. But then, to be quite honest, I've got a dodgy ankle, I've got a dodgy knee. It'd be like, she's out on the first day.
I know
don't
what I'd
know.
do. Hunted. Celebrity Hunted
Oh,
or
that'd
Race
be
Across the
pretty
World.
cool. Oh, what's
Yeah.
the other one where it's Race Across the World?
Yeah.
I was about to say
But I
80
think
days
I'd
around the
spend all
world.
my money on the first. I'd be like, well, just get me a taxi.
There was one
straight there.
Christmas, my mum and I binged through 3 seasons of it, and I was like,
Oh,
would you
I
want
love-
to do it with me? I think we'd probably kill each other.
Oh,
but
if I went on my mum, we wouldn't get
it'd be
past
the best
first leg.
experience, you know? It would be
I'd
so
be like,
amazing.
come on, run fast.
Oh,
I know. What do you
God.
want, Mum? I got a 9 in the games, quick.
Talking about public eye, you know, you've been in the public eye, and there's always
I don't know, though.
stories
I feel
that
like I'm on the
comes out-
outskirts of the public eye. I'm
Yeah.
not fully in it. I'm
Which
not
is a
fully
good
out it. I
position
love
to
it.
be in.
It's what I want to be.
Yeah,
on the
100%.
outskirts.
But do you think it's quite hard sometimes when you have relationships, whether it be friendships or like partners? Do you feel like the press are very intrusive? Do you
Yeah.
feel like they make up stories and
Yeah.
exaggerate? And
Yeah, the press haven't. And the funniest thing is, obviously, when you're the person in it, you're reading stuff going, that's just all a lie, though. Like, I
Yeah.
don't understand still how they can get away with just absolute lies, or
Yeah.
just someone telling them something that they can print something. That for me blows my mind. Like,
Yeah.
I've literally been sat next to people where the story's being wrote, and it's complete lies. I just find that so crazy, so I can't respect that. So for me,
Do you have opinion about this, Kate?
No, I completely get where you're coming from. And obviously, like, as a journalist, you have to try and spin a story
Yeah.
because you have to get the clicks, you have to
Yeah.
sell magazines and stuff. But there is a, like,
I think this is fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, let's get
okay,
into
Yeah,
think
I
some
love
people,
this.
there is a way that you don't have to get in the newspapers
Yeah.
and the magazines if you keep your private life
Yeah.
Yeah.
private. Like, it's very different from when it was like 15, 20
Yeah.
years ago when paparazzi would literally stalk
Yeah.
you and stuff. They can't really do that anymore. I do think some people ask for it,
Yeah.
and like if they
Oh,
put things on
yeah.
their Instagram and they're like, I don't know, like a cryptic thing or but I completely get it.
It's
As well, I do, and I think as I've got older,
Yeah.
I feel more responsibility.
I think you should though as well.
Yeah.
Not trying to put it on just you, obviously.
No,
as
I did, and
journalists,
I do.
But you've got to think about that's an actual person
Yeah, and I do.
who's on the other end of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's not like there's no smoke without fire. You know, that always saying, well,
Yeah.
they must have got it from somewhere. But like some journalists can quite literally be like,
Oh,
two people walking down the street, oh my God,
Yeah.
they've been in a
I would-
6-month relationship. They're having an affair. They
Yeah.
just,
I
it's
would
just like,
get
what the fuck
sent
does that come from?
stories
Yeah.
from like, and I'm like, that's just not true. I mean,
Yeah.
because I've got this weird photographic memory, so I know like the names of everyone, kids and like,
Yeah.
everything like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, they've got 3 sons, and
Yeah.
you said they've got 2 daughters, so I'm not trusting
Yeah.
you and all of that. So we do our
It's-
fact checking, but I completely.
It's just some
Yeah.
things you just, for me, like I said, sorry, I've got ADHD with my hands as well. I can't keep still.
I'm like this.
So it is just for me, I think, because it's so not my world, and I tend to be brought into the world with the
Yeah.
people I'm around. That for me is very, I get on the defense straight away because I'm just so not that. Like, that's not my world. I'm very
Yeah.
controlling in the studio aspect, the songs I release, what shows I want to do, what this and that. And you'll never see me in tabloid stuff unless you see me with someone else. And that for me is difficult because then I'm, you know, it's like having an argument with your mate or something, and then their other mate gets involved, and you're like, who are you? You don't even know me.
Yeah.
But then on a broad spectrum, and then I've got all these people in my family as well, like messaging, then you don't know who to trust. It's a crazy world. But thankfully, like, I'm on the outskirts of it.
Well, I think that like Colleen Rooney, Becky
Yeah.
Vardy thing was
Well,
a
that's
real.
that,
I mean,
yeah.
the greatest day of my life when
Yeah.
that happened, because I was always Team Colleen.
We love
Favourite ever,
Colleen.
favourite ever celebrity.
Yeah.
But when I read that post, I was like, oh my
Oh.
god, because I never liked.
I had
Becky
to
Vardy. No.
watch the documentary series on Disney for me to actually understand.
watched that
the
3 times in a row.
full depth of everything. I thought it was just a case of like, oh, you know, a small little. Oh my God, have you watched it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
But
How
do
they were
you-
like, I did this and then I removed everybody.
Yeah,
I was like,
and then she's
oh
like,
my God,
and then I
this shit
realised
is
that I'd
so
left someone
good.
else on, so I had to go back and do it. I love Colleen anyway, but the
Yeah.
way
She's
she
brilliant.
like, handled herself, but it also kind of, I think,
But it
from a
shows
journalist
how the
point of view,
press
yeah.
can just, if someone says, oh, she's had a crash, well, maybe she hadn't have.
Yeah.
Or if Colleen
Yeah.
just told Rebecca Vardy, oh, I don't know, I got up at 6 a.m. this morning and Rebecca Vardy told the press, they could still post it because someone said it, but
So what they would have done on that with the Becky stuff and
Yeah.
thing, they would have, because it's a private account, so
Yeah.
you can't actually print anything that's on a private account, but they would have asked her if it was her, but it was,
Yeah.
for proof, and she would have been like, right, here's the picture, which they can't show,
Yeah.
but they can say we've seen. So for them, it would have been like, well, she's saying it happened.
yeah, I don't know.
And don't worry, I am not defending Rebecca Vardy.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying,
but it
obviously,
is-
I get it when it's
Yeah.
pictures, but still there's certain things that press right where it's like, that's just a speculation. There's actually no proof.
But sometimes it is the person themselves.
Well, that's crazy.
Speaking to us, or
That's
friends
the
to some-
biggest
Yeah.
thing
wild
that
for
gets me.
yeah. So sometimes it
and
is.
it's even though like Becca Vardy, you know, she opened the lid in terms of she's got like a back pocket of journalists that she goes to write. We kind of knew this, especially, you know, when the Jade Goody documentary came
Yeah.
out and you understood that, you know, what she was doing was making a living for her kids and calling out the paps and all of this. But to a certain point, when obviously with Jade Goody, completely different example, but they hacked into her phone. You can't do that now. But
Thank God.
yeah,
Sorry, I would never even know. I don't even know how to go into my own voicemail. So
Oh
my people don't even know about
Actually,
this.
where is
Yeah.
my phone actually?
Yeah,
Okay,
Jesus.
we're safe.
The
over there.
messages. No, I've got to a point now where if something finishes with somebody, I delete the whole
oh
conversation.
my god, if someone went like that was in that court
Nobody
case,
needs to
I went,
know.
if someone went through my
I
WhatsApps,
don't know.
like 'cause
Nobody
they-
needs to know.
No, they're things that are taken completely out of context,
Yeah.
aren't they? And if they read that, they'll be like, what an evil.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
But
this
she did. But
conversation.
Becca Vardy did open, like, lift the lid a little bit to the fact that there are many, many celebrities out there which do
Well,
speak to
and it's-
journalists
yeah.
to write the
And
stories.
it's not
Yeah.
for the. She didn't want it for the money. She was desperate for the fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't have even. She would have hardly got any money for that.
Yeah.
But it's more, and it was all about the favourable coverage
Yeah.
and everything like that.
I just
so.
can't with
Damn.
people like that though. It's just wild. Yeah, it's crazy. But I guess, like I said, I've got other things going on, so I can't comprehend how someone would be that sly to speak to journalists. So I've never wanted to be famous. I just wanted to make a living from stuff that I'm passionate and love to do, and thankfully.
Do you feel like now you are just a little bit more careful in terms of like who you're hanging around with?
Definitely learned a few lessons, yeah, definitely, because, you know, like I said, I feel so strongly about that, and I've got nothing against journalists. It's a job, like I said, at the end of the day. But I'd rather eat my dog's poo than ever say anything to anyone, because, like I said, I just want to be respected in me craft and live a gorgeous life. And like I said, my life's actually not in entertainment. That's just a job.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's difficult. People say I'll do a date someone who's not in the public eye when that is me Monday to Friday. I'm in entertainment-y things.
Yeah.
I'd love to walk into a coffee shop and see a nice little fitty behind it. That would be perfect for me, but it's not happened yet.
But I think so. Like you can't, like celebs can have a private life as well. Like there are like Madonna, one of the most famous people in the world. You don't know where she is. Adele,
unless she wants to post a photo of her ass underneath the bed.
She don't like. She'll come out when she wants publicity. Like Adele can disappear for like 3
absolutely.
years.
But they are like
they're superstars, and
I'm not writing songs for Madonna and Adele yet. Always time, but not just yet.
But it's kind of like
you can, yeah.
The bigger the star you are, the less you need.
So basically, you're saying date Madonna or Adele, and I'll be all right.
I'll set you up. I know them well.
No problem. Got you.
But it is, I suppose that is that kind of fine line of like, you want to have publicity, but the good publicity, not the tabloid stuff.
I don't even know if I really want publicity at this point. Like, I'm not really fussed at all.
No, but I mean, like, for the promotion of your music, that's what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, but in this day and age as well, I think like you can just
social media changed everything.
You can do it your own way. Like you don't even need a record label right now. So I think it's changing. Do
you think that was like a case? Sorry, the only reason why I'm thinking this is James Arthur. He always said, an amazing artist, we all know that. He always said that he never got asked to do Glastonbury because he went on to X Factor, which was like a reality show. But that was kind of just before the big kickoff of social media. Do you think like the artists that went on to X Factor that succeeded would be as big if they, you know, didn't go into the X Factor, that they just had social media? I'm just trying to but I suppose it did bring like One Direction together, and they
Leona Lewis, James Arthur, Cher Lloyd. She had a big thing at the time. There's loads.
I don't think it was just because he wasn't on because he was on X Factor. I think some people are. I'm sure there must have been some. Well, Harry Styles, they wouldn't say to them, "Oh, can I headline Glastonbury?" No, because you're on X Factor. But I mean, X Factor.
Little Mix as well. Our biggest girl band. I think.
Damn. So many good people came out of X Factor.
Yeah. But it's our only show in the country that like is okay if you go on this, and it has a massive. I wrote a song for Louisa Johnson when she won, and it was like if you're a songwriter and you get the winner's song off it, it's like a big thing. So that's a massive machine. X Factor. You come off, you sound a pretty crappy deal, I heard, and then you go and make an album, but then boom. You've been watched by millions straight away. So I guess, I don't know, if they had 10 million TikTok followers or whatever, it might be the same, but it was our biggest leap.
God, that's mad.
It has but it's definitely changed from the traditional press being as powerful as they were 100%. Because celebs don't need it. If there's a story in something, they can go and tell their 5 million Instagram followers, they're like, well, it's not true, and this is what's happened. Like 10, 15 years ago, that wasn't, and it was probably a lot scarier that they had that much power. We. But
it's mad. It is mad, social media. Talking about social media, as an influencer, do you love it? Do you hate it? Pros and cons? Or you just go, I don't mind the gigs that come in for a bit of money, whatever.
Let's be honest. You know, at the end of the day, if I wasn't doing music and getting paid or doing football stuff, I'd have to get another job to make a living. It is a living at the end of the day. I'm not gonna be advertising things that I don't believe in, or anything like that. Like I am again. I think it's that I'm a Scouser. I wouldn't be posting anything that's too out of touch. Like, you know, I'm not gonna post go and get your aesthetics done or your boob job from turkey or whatever. Like, that's not really fitting for me. So I wouldn't do that for no matter the amount of money. I get sick being a Scouser. Like, if I post anything too out of touch that doesn't align with where I've come from, you know, then I just wouldn't do it. But it is what it is. I think, again, what we spoke about then, new generation of, it's just a new job. Yeah. And it's a little add-on.
You would do an advert, like, years ago, it's just the same kind of thing.
Yeah. These little kids growing up now are just like, I want to be a social media influencer. Like, back in the day, I was like, I want to be a swimming Olympian. I was like 5'4.5" and skinny as anything. You're like, you're never going to be an Olympian. Let's face it, girl. So this part of the show is called Gossip Grind. We are going to discuss celebrity, showbiz, entertainment news, which is in the media at the moment. First up, Celebrity Big Brother. Are we a lover? Are we a hater? Have you been watching it?
No.
I'm a lover. I'll take over.
You have you. This is all you, Kate.
Yes, I think it's getting Louis and Sharon on was whatever they spent on that. The producers. Yeah, worth their weight in gold.
Oh, actually, Coulson's on it. Yeah, I was on the games with him, so
I did see second favourite to win.
Oh, okay, go on, the lad.
Yeah. And you know what? When he first came in, he's just a real normal person. And Sharon and Louis, they had to. No, it was more Sharon. Sharon had to put 3 people in like the ring of fire, and she was going to put him in it. Oh. I think it was just because he came in a little bit, you know, timid. But I'm like, that's a real person. He's not putting on a show.
Who else is on it?
So Gary, no, 1 minute. Gary, Kate Middleton's uncle, went in
Uncle
it.
Gary.
He got evicted.
Oh, did he?
He was the first one to be evicted. Anyways, who else is on it?
Who else on it? We've got Fern Britton.
Okay.
Which is great. I like her.
Yeah, she is. She's a bit of a Debbie Downer at times, but
wouldn't want to live with one of them, would you?
She did talk about the other day wearing no knickers with her jeans.
Oh, that's one thing I wouldn't do. I mean, I'm all for no knickers in a pair of joggers.
That's what everyone else was saying.
Like,
and they went, no,
jeans.
Jeans. Yeah. She was like, oh, no, I prefer wearing jeans without knickers. I was like, oh, Fern, that's something I don't want to know.
Nah.
Yeah, no,
not
for me.
Ekin-Su from Love Island.
Oh, yeah.
She's in it. You've got, I don't know if she's...
She was great on Love Island.
Yeah,
she's just not so great on this.
I don't know whether or not, because the Big Brother house... There's so many big personalities, and when you are a big personality, you can't be like the drama queen when you've got so many other people doing that.
She might be a bit intimidated by everyone else, whereas in Love Island she was the big star, so she didn't have to compete with everyone.
Lauren from
Real Housewives of Cheshire.
No, I seen her the other week on First Dates, and she was so rude. Did you watch her?
No.
Oh, she was. So my friend told me the other day we spoke about Big Brother, and she said, "Oh, that one on First Dates is on there," but she was on First Dates.
Oh, really?
And the guy was like, "So what you doing?" She went, "You know what I do," and I was like, "Oh, you're horrible."
Like, she doesn't actually knows what she does.
I was just like,
isn't she on OnlyFans? Isn't that what the conversation was recently with Ekin-Su, Sharon, and Lauren? They were basically talking about.
Daphne's seen her on OnlyFans.
Oh, who wound her up? And Ekin-Su was like, I'd rather be broke than go on OnlyFans. And then Lauren turns around, was basically saying that, oh, well, you know, I speak to people that make £1 million in like a month or something like this. And she goes, that's my own free money. And then I think Ekin-Su turned around to Sharon, was just like, would you ever do it? And obviously Sharon being Sharon was like, no, I bloody wouldn't.
I'm on their team as well. I'm sorry. I think, that's a whole other conversation. But I'm on Sharon Ekin-Su.
Yeah.
I don't think Lauren's making $1 million a week from it.
No, she said she knew a friend.
Oh. We all have that one friend who doesn't exist.
Yeah. So if I had a friend making $1 million a week on OnlyFans, I'd be like, go for it.
That's a lot of photos need to be taken again and do that.
No.
But yeah, so would you do Celebrity Big Brother?
No, I would never.
Would you not?
That. Never. No.
I always ask people this, and I always think it's such a great thing to do, but I think I'd probably do 2 days in there and start going, no. My therapist is telling me, get the fuck out.
No. That's too much for me.
I once applied years and years ago for the normal Big Brother and got through to like the last like 1,000 or something. And it was massive back then. It was like Series 4 or something. But Laura had won it the year before, so I had to change my name to Kat. because so I thought they're not going to put another Kate in there, and they were like, "Oh, hi, Kat." I was like, "Thank God I didn't go on, because I wouldn't want to be known as Kat that was in Big Brother 4."
This is what happened to me when I was on Take Me Out. I was in the 3rd season of that.
No way.
Way back when, yeah.
Oh, wow.
2011 or 2012. I mean, we're talking years ago.
Did you get a date?
Yeah. Another story. But there was like, Emma was obviously the most popular name of the bloody year. There was 2 Emmas on there, and they were just like, oh, we can't stick another Emma on because we can't have 3 Emmas in the thing. So hence why my name got changed to Coney, which is my surname. And then after that, everyone starts going, Connie. I was like, no. I was like, a completely different
Connie
name.
and Kat.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, wow. Not for me, Big Brother, though. I think that's just too intense. I like alone time. I love my own space. I like to just...
meditating at night.
You'd have to be like Sharon, be a lodger, because she gets her own bedroom.
Yeah, I'd do it that way.
That must have been in her contract to be
yeah.
like, we'll pay you £1 million to show on this, to be on the show, but we will give you your own bed.
Yeah.
I mean, she's getting on a bit though. How old is she now?
Like 72 or something.
Oh,
Does she look
still
great
quite young.
still? Oh,
Well,
the lady
I don't want to sound like my mum, but she's lost too much weight. Like,
isn't it true though? She took diet pills, and the problem is now she can't put on weight.
Isn't she on Ozempic?
Something to do with
know,
diabetes.
that sounds a bit like a lie. Just saying.
That sounds like a lie.
She's on Ozempic, I think, which she has said she's on.
Yeah.
But she is very, very skinny.
Yeah. And the problem is when you're older, everything kind of... And then she's had a load of work to like that.
Yeah.
And now it's just... She looks frail, I think.
Oh,
but I do love her and Louis together because it reminds me of X Factor.
Yeah.
And all those.
Oh, I love Louis. But Louis is just... He's like a typical... like... was once a massive big time person. Now he still has that sort of personality, and he's going to house like Big Brother. Like he turned around to, was it Lauren? Like when they were choosing the beds, he's like, get up. He goes, that's my bed. Like I was like, Louis, how could you do that? But still, loads of character, loads of personality. I quite like him. So no to Celebrity Big Brother, but did you watch Love Island All Stars?
No.
You didn't watch that one either?
No, I don't watch TV that much. Honestly, I don't. I've been watching like the Formula One Drive to Survive.
That is good.
I've been watching the quarterback documentary with Pat Mahomes, and I like real life stories. I feel like there's too much trashy telly on at the minute. Like, give me some real life stuff.
Yeah, I feel it's a lot. You have to dedicate a lot of time to these shows, especially when they're on every night.
Watch it in the morning. Yeah, that's what I do. Replay in the morning.
Love Island All Stars was way better than Winter
so
Love
much
Island.
Better. It made you realise how good the old cast was.
Hannah Elizabeth.
Yeah,
I lived with her.
Did you?
She's great.
I lived with her for like a year.
Because I loved her on the first series when no one really.
Well, that's when I lived with her.
Right. And then
when they were real.
My first girlfriend in London. It's mad because she actually messaged me this week. My first girlfriend, Hannah, was renting a room from her. So she lived in the house with us. And then Cara, who went on the season after Hannah, she was she was my girlfriend's best friend. So we all used to be in a house together. And it was me, the lesbian, with all these thick girls around me. I was like, living. And it was, it's been a wild ride to see them obviously go on to do what they were doing. But I remember Hannah going, girls, I'm going on Love Island. And I was like, good luck, girl. Get a bit of peace in the house.
Oh, God, yeah, I can imagine. She definitely had some out there outfits.
Yeah, she was like that anyway. She's a scouser.
She's brilliant.
She just, she does what she wants.
I love that. Yeah. No, but I do think the Love Island... are missing those sort of characters. They're older, obviously, coming in older, 28, 29, 30. And I just feel like the new episodes and seasons of Love Island, 18-year-olds, they're not looking for love.
Well, that's when Michael Owen's daughter was on it. I was like, I remember when she was born.
That's why.
And now she's on Love Island. I was like, yes, I'm really old, but I can't watch you be on Love Island. Yeah. I had Michael Owen like a poster on my wall. No.
Yeah. It makes you feel older, doesn't it?
So this is my favourite part of the show, where we have viewers coming in with dilemmas, and I need you guys to give some advice for them. Okay. Now, we've got one. It goes, my best friend has been with her boyfriend for just under a year, and to be honest, I'm not a biggest fan, which she knows about, and I've never let it affect our friendship. However, we were at a party one night and he was quite drunk and he was getting very, very flirty with me. Obviously, I made it clear of our friendship and that he needs to get it together because it's making me uncomfortable. Although he did carry on with the flirtiness, started touching my leg, saying things like, "What would you think if we were together?" I immediately wanted to tell my friend, but as I started, she insisted that I was exaggerating and played it all down. I did try to speak to her the next day, and the same story, she was playing it all down. What do I do? As I don't even want to hang out with him anymore for her sake, and I think she needs to know the extent.
She's never going to believe her.
No,
she's going to have to end the friendship.
Yeah.
But she's not going to believe her, is she? Like,
no. I don't know why, but while you were reading that, I kept thinking of when Phoebe just done that thing back to Chandler where she like acts like she wants him until he says, "I'm with Monica." Like, she's like, "Come on then." Like, and he's like, "Oh." Like, you could almost like, you know, do reverse psychology on him and see. But I wouldn't do that. But I just was thinking that I would probably, you tell your mate, and if she doesn't believe you and she wants to stay with it, then you have to cut that friendship off because it's not good for you.
Yeah.
People are in denial sometimes when they want to be like, "This is what happened last night." Like, well, if I haven't seen it in my own eyes, then, you know. And I think,
what happens if she goes on to, like, marry him or something? Like, you just can't.
Yeah. And I think you've just got to be as civil as possible. My mama always said to me that you can give advice to your friends on relationships, but when it comes into... you personally say, "Oh, I don't think you should be with this person because of X, Y, and Z," that's where the trouble starts. Because if they do get back together and they do live happily ever after, they're always going to resent you for that.
Yes.
And always. Also, you've got your own life. Like, if just go and be
don't
happy
worry about her.
Like, why are you bothered about?
Yeah.
I know that your mates and that, but you've got to be respected in friendships and your own personal relationships. I think you've got to have a good sense of self, and if your truth there is being like manipulated in any way, just go elsewhere and be happy.
Also, another little bit of advice is don't now get, you know, somebody starts paying you attention, don't get that such, you know, sometimes you like, "Oh, I know I shouldn't be doing this," but then you just get your things. So don't ever do that.
Don't do that.
Don't even start thinking about that.
No, not at all.
No. So don't. Just back away. Just don't say anything, and just, this is going to work out with a friend. It'll work out.
If you think, like, if someone gave you advice, like, on your relationship, if you're like, "Well, I'm happy in the relationship," you just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So
I'd get them both in a room and go, "Right, I'm hooking us up to a lie detector. You ready?" I would be that one.
Maybe she could get Kate Middleton to edit some photos to show them some evidence of him cheating on her.
Oh my God, yeah. Hidden cameras here and there now, taking it to a whole different level, but that's a bit extreme. Anyways, isn't it? Let's face it. I'm sure it will all work out in the end. But yeah. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me on this month's Getting Lippy. Tune in next month with more celebrity and entertainment news brought to you by Stingo.